Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Of course, in the final video of today, we are going to be reacting to the NFL games that were played this past weekend. We did not do predictions for them just because I was out sick this week, and we're going to go ahead and react to them in this video, the final video of the day. So if you guys are new to the channel, you already know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that said, probably 4 videos again tomorrow with ACC reactions and predictions. Then you'll have NFL predictions as well. And then we'll talk the World Series, break down every single game in that as well. Thursday, Big Ten reactions and predictions. Probably going to have some other where we talk about some video. And then we'll also preview Venom for you guys as well. So stay tuned for all of that and so much more. However, we got some NFL games to react to. So let's go ahead and hop right in to these NFL Week number 8 reactions. Kicking us off on Thursday Night Football, we had, of course, the Broncos going into the Saints and absolutely obliterating the New Orleans Saints. We'll go ahead and start with Spencer Rattler. He really didn't play all that bad. He was 25 of 35, 172 yards. Did get taken out the game, but I think that was just because of the, hey, we're getting beat kind of thing. We want to save you for a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. If you're asking me, I think that he should still be the starter. However, I think that they need to fire Dennis Allen. I really do. I think he needs to be gone. I think that there's no way that he makes it to the end of the season. If you're asking me, I think the Saints should just restart with Dennis Allen as well. That's my thinking on that one. Jake Hader got in the game, 3 for 4. Did throw a touchdown, but it was kind of a garbage time touchdown if you're asking me. Leading rusher was Keandre Miller with 36 yards on the day. And, of course, the one touchdown was Cedric Wilson Jr., who, fun fact, I met in an airport one time in New Orleans, which was crazy. He was in his transition period from Miami to New Orleans, wearing the Saints backpack, and I was like, hey, that's Cedric Wilson. That's crazy. So, I've seen him, and I've met him in a New Orleans airport, which is crazy, as he caught the one touchdown on the day. Blake Grupe kicking 4 points as well. Now, taking a look at the Broncos side of things, Bo Nix, 16 of 26, 164 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Javonte Williams had 2 touchdowns on the day. I believe the defense had a touchdown. And then Will Lutz, of course, kicked 15 of those points for the Denver Broncos. So, of course, Bo Nix looking really good. Proud of the former Auburn man as he got the job done on the road in New Orleans. War Damn Eagle, Bo Nix. Alright, starting us off on Sunday, of course, we had the London game of the week. The Jaguars being London's team once again and getting the job done against the New England Patriots. Let's start with the Patriots side of things. As Drake May was 26 of 37, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the day. Ramondre Stevenson had 18 yards on the day. I'm so glad I did not start him in fantasy and decided to drop him. However, it was Jermichael Hasley who caught a touchdown and KJ Osborne who also got a touchdown. But it was Hunter Henry that led the team in yardage with 92 yards on the day for him. And then, of course, Joey Sly kicked about 4 of those points as well. Now, T-Law had himself a day, 15 of 20, 193 yards, 1 touchdown. Tank freaking Bigsby, the real Auburn man, had himself a day. 26 carries, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns, about 24, 25 fantasy points for you guys keeping track at home. And he was my fantasy football MVP this week. I picked him up off waivers. I don't know if I should start him again. I'm debating on that one. Let me know in the comments if I need to start him again this weekend. But, yeah, Brian Thomas also catching a touchdown, leading the team in receiving with 90 yards on the day for 5 receptions. He also had about 17, 18 points, which I was really proud of, as the Jags were kicking, and Cam Little did 6 of those points as well. Jags get a much-needed win, as they are now 2-5 to start the year. Alright, moving on to the afternoon slate here. We had the Vikings, the first game of the day, hosting the Detroit Lions in a 31-29 shootout loss for the Minnesota Vikings. This game was phenomenal, fun to watch, everything you had on it. Sam Darnold, 22 of 27, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Aaron Jones leading the team in rushing with 1 touchdown on the day for him. 93 yards as well. Justin Jefferson caught a touchdown and led the team in receiving with 81 yards as well. And Will Wright kicking 11 points, but it was not enough as the Minnesota Vikings do get their first loss on the year. Now, take a look at the line side of things. Jared Goff, 22 of 25. Similar stat line to Sam Darnold. 280 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, which was the difference in the game. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, led the team in receiving on that one. Amon-Ra St. Brown caught a touchdown, and so did Kelly Raymond, who also caught a touchdown as well, but it was Amon-Ra that led the team in yardage with 112, and Jake Bates kicking, of course, 7 of those points as the Lions get the win, and it is now a tie for first place in the NFC North. Alright, moving on. Took the hat off here for a little bit. I was just getting kind of tired of it being on my head, but it is what it is. We got the Titans going into the Bills and getting absolutely clapped by the Buffalo Bills. Mason Rudolph, of course, was the starting quarterback. He was 25 of 40, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day. Tony Pollard led the team in rushing with 61 yards, 0 touchdowns on the day as well. However, it was Nick Westbrook-Ikhine who caught the 1 touchdown as well. And then, of course, Okonwu led the team in receiving with 50 yards. And then the kicker, Nick Folk, kicked about 4 of those points as well. Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills side of things, 21 of 33, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Near perfect day for the probably MVP favorite right now as well. Ray Davis, 1 touchdown. James Cook, 1 touchdown. But it was Ray Davis that led the team in rush yards with 41. Amari Cooper did catch a touchdown, but it was Keon Coleman that had 125 yards on the day as well. And then, of course, Ty Johnson catching 1 of those touchdowns as well. I will say, on the Amari Cooper route, he's got to be thankful for Keon Coleman telling him what to do. Because Keon Coleman doesn't want to admit it, but he definitely told Amari Cooper what the route was. You could see it on the sideline there. And then to round us all out, Tyler Bass went 2 for 2, kicking 10 points as well, as the Buffalo Bills cruise to 5-2 on the year. Right, next game up here was the Dolphins going into the Colts in a very, very boring game here. Tim Boyle, 8 of 13, 74 yards, was the starting quarterback. However, Tyler Huntley did get in the game. 7 for 13, 87 yards, 1 touchdown there kind of at the garbage time end of things for the game. Devon Achane led the team in rushing with 77 yards. It was Jonnu Smith who led the team in receiving with 96 yards and 1 touchdown as well. And, of course, it was Jason Sanders who had 4 points, 1 for 2 from field goal range as well. Looking at the Colts side of things, Anthony Richardson, 10 of 24, 129 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 receptions. Tyler Godson catching 1 of those touchdowns, but it was Richardson that led the way in rush yards with 56 of them. Michael Pittman had 63 receiving yards on the day, while it was Matt Gay kicking 10 of the 16 points for the Indianapolis Colts, as they are now 4-3 on the year and beat the Miami Dolphins in week number 7. Next game up, you had the Falcons getting absolutely belittled by the Seattle Seahawks. Honestly, it wasn't even as belittling as it sounded, because if you watch the game, you would know what happened, as the Seattle Seahawks did score the most points they did in the fourth quarter with 10. However, let's react to this game. Kirk Cousins, 24 of 35, 232 yards on the day, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions on the day. Bijan, 103 yards, 1 touchdown through 21 carries as well. Drake London catching a touchdown on the day as well, with Kyle Pitts leading the way at receiving, and Younghoe Koo only had 2 points at the kicking position there. However, it was the Seahawks winning side of things. Let's talk about them, as Geno Smith was 18 of 28, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Kenneth Walker having himself a day with 70 yards on the day through 14 carries with 1 touchdown as well. DK having a touchdown with 100 yards. And, of course, Kenneth Walker had a really nice receiving touchdown at the end of the first half, which was absolutely beautiful ball thrown by Geno Smith. And, Jason Myers kicked 10 points as well to round out the scoring for the Seattle Seahawks as they get the win and are now 4-3 top of the NFC West. Right, up next, of course, is the Houston Texans, going into the Green Bay Packers. CJ Stroud did struggle with this one. 10 of 21, 86 yards, 0 interceptions, 0 touchdowns on the day. However, it was Joe Mixon that kept him in the game with 115 yards on the ground through 25 carries and 2 touchdowns as well. Receiving-wise, Dalton Schultz led the team with 26 yards receiving, as it was Fairburn, the MVP, kicking 10 of the points for the Houston Texans. Keeping a look at the Packers side of things, Jordan Love, 24 of 33, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions, but it ultimately did not matter, as he got the ball to his playmakers, Romeo Doubs with 94 yards, Dontavion Wicks, 1 touchdown on the day. Tucker Kraft, 1 touchdown. And Josh Jacobs, a receiving touchdown as well. and Brandon McManus kicked 6 of those points as well, as the Packers get the job done in a really good performance there for Jordan Love against the Houston Texans. Next, you had the Browns hosting the Bengals, and yes, Deshaun Watson is out for the year. However, before he got hurt, he was 15 of 17, which ultimately really was not that bad when he went hurt. 128 yards. He was keeping the Browns in the game for the most part. However, Dorian Thompson-Robinson came in the game 11 for 24, 82 yards, 2 interceptions on the day. Jameis Winston came in the game, 5 for 11, 67 yards, had a touchdown, but it was too little too late there, as Dorian Thompson-Robinson led the team in rushing with 44. It was Nicholas Jamal Chubb, who had 1 touchdown on the day as well for the Cleveland Browns as well. And then the kicker did not do anything there. Let's look at the Bengals side of things. Joey B, 15 of 20 to 5, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day for him. Passing-wise, Chase Brown led the team in rushing with 44 yards. T. Higgins did catch the 1 touchdown and also had 82 yards receiving as well. And then, of course, Evan McPherson, 3 of the 21 points as well, as the Bengals get a close game, slowly but surely climbing back up in the standings at 3-4 on the season. Next game up, we had everyone's favorite game of the week, which was the Giants hosting the Philadelphia Eagles in this matchup. Giants, we'll take a look at them first. Danny Jones, 14 of 21. 99 yards on the day as well, and Drew Lock was 3 for 8, with 6 touchdowns on the day as well. Tyrone Taylor led the team in rushing with 23. It was Malik Nabers who had 41 yards as well, and then the kicker Greg Joseph really being the only bright spot for the New York Giants. Now, let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles side of things, as Jalen Hurts was 10 of 14, 114 yards, 1 passing touchdown on the day as well. Saquon had 1 rushing touchdown on the day with 176 yards as well. And A.J. Brown had 90 yards for 1 touchdown as well, as the kicker Jake Elliott also had 4 of those points. Jalen Hurts distributed the ball to his playmakers, and that is ultimately what got them the win against a struggling New York Giants team so far. Next up, of course, was the Raiders going into the Rams. Did not get a chance to watch this game, that is for sure. However, Gardner Minshew II was 15 of 34, 153 yards. Did have 3 interceptions on the day and struggled as well. Madison had 92 yards on the day rushing-wise. Of course, Brock Bowers led the team in receiving with 93 yards as well. However, the kicker Daniel Carlson, the Auburn-made man, 15 of those points, showing why he was the greatest kicker in Auburn football history, scoring every single point as he was 5 for 5. His longest was 47 of the day. Huge shout out to Daniel Carlson for carrying this Raiders team as well. Matthew Stafford, one of the most likely trade candidates before the deadline. If you guys did not see that headline, teams are looking to trade for Matthew Stafford. 13 of 23, 54 yards. 1 interception on the day as well. Kyren Williams had 2 touchdowns with 68 yards as well. And then, of course, the kicker Joshua Carley had 2 points to add on to that as well, as the Rams sneak by the Raiders, with the Raiders getting a lot of help from their kicker, War Damn Eagle, Daniel Carlson. Up next, the game that I really don't want to talk about here, but we got to it, is the Panthers getting absolutely belittled by the Washington Commanders. Andy Norton, 11 for 16, 93 yards, 2 interceptions. Bryce Young came in the game, was at -4 yards on the day as well. However, I really don't think that was his fault. I didn't watch the game, but let me know in the comments down below. Doesn't seem like it, at least. Chuba Hubbard did score the only touchdown of the day with 52 yards as well. Jatavion Sanders, 61 yards, led the team in receiving. And Eddie Pinheiro kicked an extra point, and that is all the scoring for the Carolina Panthers. Now, I will say, Jayden Daniels being hurt did not obviously affect the Washington Commanders that much in this game. I think long-term it will. I'm not sure the timetable on Jayden Daniels' return yet. We will probably have more info on that later, probably tomorrow or the next day. But he did have a rib, and he did have an injured rib, and that is what ultimately got him taken out the game. But he was 2 for 2 with 6 yards on the day before he got hurt. Marcus Mariota, of course, 18 of 23, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, balled out for the backup quarterback, and Jayden Daniels' replacement, Brian Robinson, 71 yards, 1 touchdown on the day as well. Zach Ertz caught a touchdown, and of course Ben Sinnett caught a touchdown, but it was Scary Terry that led the way with 98 yards receiving as well. And then Adam Sabert had 16 points as well, and the Commanders absolutely belittle the Carolina Panthers, but are going to have to get Jaden Daniels back if they want a chance in the NFC East. Next game up, you have the Chiefs. I don't know how they do it. I really do not know how they continue to play poorly and still escape by, especially on the road in San Francisco. Now, Brock Purdy struggled. Had 3 interceptions on the day, 17 of 31, 212 yards on the day for him. Brock Purdy did have 2 rushing touchdowns, which, of course, did kind of make up for those 3 extra interceptions there, but it wasn't enough, as they do struggle in this matchup as well. Anders Carlson came in, 6 points. Another War Damn Eagle player. A lot of War Eagle players making MVPs this week. That is for sure. However, let's look at this absolutely shit way that Patrick Mahomes played. 16 of 27, 154 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes at all, and they still won the game. He had a rushing touchdown, yes. Kareem Hunt had 2 rushing touchdowns, and McCall Hardman had 1 as well. So, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they continue to find ways to win when they play badly, especially Mahomes throwing those 2 interceptions against a 49ers team defense who, might add, rematch of the Super Bowl, people. Harrison Butker, 4 points. Didn't even score a lot of points kicking-wise. It was all rushing. There's, nothing receiving-wise. There's no touchdowns across the board. The highest receiver didn't even hit 70 yards on the day. I don't know how they continue to do it, but they continue to do it. They're 6-0. They should be 3-3 at best. That's how that is. That's my little rant of the day, of the week. Don't know how they do it. Andy Reid must be a mastermind or something, because they're undefeated. They beat the 49ers. Yes, they beat them really bad with the running game, and that's just how they did it. I don't understand it. I don't know what they are, but the Chiefs are 6-0 regardless. It pisses me off. Moving on to cap us off the day. After my little rant there, we had still on the Chiefs mindset of things, the New York Jets going into the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who in the hell decided to put this game on NFL Sunday Night Football? If you're going to do it, put this game at the 3:25 slot and let the Chiefs 49ers be the Sunday night game. That's just my thinking. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. However, Aaron Rodgers was 24 of 39, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So obviously Davante Adams did not help him out at all, as he had 3 receptions for 30 yards on the day. Breece Hall led the team in receiving with 103 yards. Yes, you heard that correctly. And it was Tyler Conklin that caught a touchdown, but Breece Hall also rushing in for a touchdown as well. Greg Zuerlein didn't do absolute crap. And it was Russell Wilson on the day for the Pittsburgh Steelers that did really good. 20 of 29, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Najee Harris, 102 yards, 1 touchdown, as Russell Wilson also rushed for a touchdown as well. George Pickens caught a touchdown, and Van Jefferson also caught a touchdown as well. And it was the kicker Boswell who kicked 13 of those points, as the Pittsburgh Steelers get a much-needed win to move on to 5-2 on the year on Sunday Night Football. Ending the week off, we had 2 games on Monday night, which the second game was absolutely phenomenal. The first game, not so much. It is the Bucs hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Baker Mayfield, 31 of 43. 370 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 of which came in garbage time. 2 interceptions on the day for him as well. Rachaad White led the team in rush yardage with 40 yards, but it was Bucky Ivering that rushed for a touchdown as well. Rachaad White receiving 2 touchdowns, catching 2 touchdowns as well, with Mike Evans catching a touchdown as well, and Cade Otton leading the team in receiving yards as well, with Chase McLaughlin kicking 5 of those points. Now for the Ravens side of things, Lamar Jackson, 17 of 22, 281 yards, 5 touchdown passes on the day. I don't know how they do it, but Lamar Jackson must be God or something like that, because Derrick Henry also 179 yards or 69 yards rushing, which was phenomenal by him. Bateman caught a touchdown, led the team in receiving yardage with 121. Justice Hill, Mark Andrews catching 2 touchdowns as well, and Derrick Henry catching a touchdown on the day as well, and Justin Tucker balling out with 12 points as well as the Baltimore Ravens get the job done against the Bucs, and they look to be one of the top seeds in the AFC once again. Us with the final game of the weekend, we had the Chargers going into the Cardinals in a really good matchup, if you're asking me. Cardinals getting a much-earned win. That is for sure. Go Cards, baby. Let's go. However, Justin Herbert, 27 of 39, 349 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. With J.K. Dobbins, 40 yards as well on the day. Will Dissly also leading the team in receiving. Len McConkey only had 46 yards for whatever reason. And Cameron Dicker had 15 of those points, all of those points for the Los Angeles Chargers. However, when you look at the winning team in Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, 14 of 26, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day. Kyler Murray did have a rushing touchdown, but it was James Conner that led the way with rush yardage with 101. And of course, Greg Dortch receiving one of those touchdowns. Still got my mind on my kicker, but it is what it is. Chad Ryland, neat kicker, kicking 5 of those points as well. Great team win for the Arizona Cardinals as they are now in second place in the NFC West. Anyway, of course, that is where I'm going to do it for the final video of the day. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that said, I'm going to hop off, get this edited, so you guys can watch it on time. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the MLS playoffs tonight, as they will be started by the time this video releases. This will be the final one of the day, so probably around 7 o'clock or so Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time as well for any of you viewers in the United States. However, that is where I'm going to leave it. Enjoy MLS, enjoy some college football tonight, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.